guys, happy Monday. So you can see I'm in my home office because we've had some crazy weather it's been raining off and on pretty much for the last 7 to 10 days, but we've had some good weather in between, a little bit of breaks, but it's been raining a lot the last few days, and yesterday was a little scary. So let me tell you what happened. So I had my grocery order set for between 7 and 8 to pick up yesterday morning, so Sunday morning. Been loving doing the Sunday grocery shopping. It's been kind of making me like grocery shopping again because it's not as busy and crazy and traffic and all those things. So it's been great. And I planned on doing my grocery haul, planned on doing my meal prep, everything, because this was the week I was going to meal prep. I've been kind of backing off on the meal prep because of food waste and just time and all of that. So I've just been really only doing it when it makes sense rather than doing it for a video and doing it for content and that kind of thing. Like, I really need to pay attention to what works for me for the week, and if it works, then it works. Anyway, so I've been trying to get my computer booted up. Of course, I had an update. Okay, so I had my grocery order set for 7 to 8. I get a notification that, for the thing, I get a notification that there's 4 things out of stock, and they didn't even have replacements for it. They could ship it to me, but I was already going to go to Safeway afterwards, and so it just made sense just to pick those things up at Safeway. There's a couple of things I couldn't pick up, but then I got a notification that my order was going to be delayed, and they let me know. I've never had that happen with my Walmart. We're in a small town. I know it's happened at other people. I've had issues with that, especially when Walmart first started doing it. I used to see so many people horror stories of Walmart pickup. We've never had that here. I didn't think anything of it. I could hear it was raining outside, but it's always raining. It's Oregon. Spring is rain, And, so then finally get the notification that it's ready, and that was about 8:30. So it was really late, which, like I said, it's not normal. So I head out to go pick it up, and I was like, man, it is really raining out here. It was pouring. So I grabbed my hoodie so I could have a hood on, and I head out. Now, there's 2 ways into our Walmart. So I usually, because of the way that I come from my house, I usually come in the back way and go out the front way, the front entrance, so I can head either the Fred Meyer or Safeway, whichever one I'm going to. So I come in the back way, and I was like, geez, the road is flooded. I mean, my first thought was, because I hadn't looked, it was early, so I hadn't looked at anything on social media, hadn't done anything, just got ready and was confirming my list and all of that. And I just thought it was a water main or something. I had no idea that it was actual flooding. So I, was a little nervous going through the water because I couldn't tell how high it was, but I was able to because where the real deep water was to one entrance. I took the entrance that for trucks to come in. And so I just took that entrance because it bypassed all that water. And I went in there and parked, and I said I was there. I saw 5 Walmart workers standing out front, and they all had their phones out. And I was like, what the heck are they doing? So I looked to where they're looking at, and they're looking at the front entrance. And then a couple came from the back, and I was just like, okay, what's going on? So I look over there, and meanwhile, my husband sends me a message in the middle of it saying, because he was still asleep when I left, he sent me a message saying, be careful out there. And I was like, okay. I said, yeah, it's raining like crazy, because I parked, and I said, yeah, it's raining like crazy out here. Then I said, yeah, there was even a big old puddle coming in the back entrance. But again, totally didn't think about it. And so then I'm looking up front. So our Walmart entrance, the entrance to come in is a bridge over one of the creeks in town. And I was looking, I'm like, is that water? What the heck? And so then I started looking. So then it was taking a long time to get my order. And so I started looking on Facebook at all the local groups. And I was like, oh my gosh, it is flooding all over the county. And I was just like, oh my goodness. So then when I get my order, and it is pouring. Meanwhile, I mean, all weekend, I'm looking at all this crazy weather going on all over the United States. You know, I mean, there's like those dust storms in Kansas, all those tragedies on the highways and stuff there with the dust storms, all those tornadoes, I mean, there were people getting blizzards. I mean, it was just a crazy weekend for weather. And that's all I was paying attention to. I was looking at our local stuff. It was just raining here. And I even kept telling my husband, because we did a few things this weekend. I even told my husband, I'm like, you know, because he was complaining about the rain. I said, well, look what's going on over there. Isn't rain better than freaking blizzards and tornadoes and dust storms? And we're just kind of, you know, chuckling about that, you know, just like how lucky we are that we weren't getting that kind of weather. And so I get my groceries and I go towards the front and I'm like, okay, I don't know if I should go through that. So I go around to the back, and it was even worse on the back. So where it had, you know, there was even the second entrance I wanted to go to, I couldn't get through because there's trucks over there, trucks that already had been coming in. So it was all blocked off. So I was like, okay, I don't even know which one would be the safest. There's just no way, I had no idea. And so it looked so like really deep at that back entrance. So I turned back around, we'll go out the front entrance. I'm like, okay, I watched and I saw a few cars about my size coming through there. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna go kind of slow. I go out and I look over and the entire creek it's just overflowing. And so then I, you know, take a right to go, I decide, okay, I'm going to go to Safeway. So I go down that way and they had like one whole lane blocked off where the creek had totally flooded all the parking lots of all the businesses on the right, that are on the right side of the road. So they had the whole right lane blocked off until, you know, you kind of got a little bit higher up. So then go to Safeway. I was at this point, I'm like, okay, I just need to get home because I'm feeling a little nervous because we live by a creek. I knew our house is high enough off the ground that it wouldn't cause, you know, we wouldn't be flooded, but I'm thinking my neighborhood getting to my house because I have to go over, you know, we go right by a creek to come into the house. And so I was like, okay, I'm just going to go home. So I wanted to see how our creek looked. So I went around and I go over our bridge, and our bridge was not covered with water at that point, thank goodness, but there was a few places I knew it was already flooding because there's a few places down my road that was just full of water. So I get home, my husband's like, dang it, he had to go to the store and get some things that he needed for this next week. And I'm like, let's just go now before it starts getting too worse. So I'm like, but let's go in your truck because I don't want to go in my car. So we go and get his errands done and we get home, and on the way back, we looked at, we went by my work so we could see, because my work is literally like on the creek, the same creek that goes back, because you guys know I only live a mile from my work. So that same creek that goes goes in front of my house, but then it kind of goes down and it crosses the road and goes back behind my work. So we went over there, and I'll put the video right here of what my work looked like. And so, I mean, you could tell it looks like it's getting into the basement of our building, and they had all the roads blocked off. We couldn't even go across. There was no way I could even get into my work because from the back, which is where the video I'm showing you is from the back, they had all the roads blocked off. Both bridges were blocked off on either side of the building. And then on the front of the building, they had it all blocked off as well because of high water in front of the building. So we pretty much were blocked in where we were at. I will see if I can download, because there's people who put drone footage of my road, because it was one of the hardest hit. I mean, there was people hit all over, but it was so sad. On our way back from doing that, there was all these fire trucks and stuff just a few houses down from my house, but on the other side of the road from, because the creek kind of goes along, and then right after my house, maybe an eighth of a mile down from my house, it goes under the road. So there's a bridge, and then it goes over to the other side of the road. But there was a bunch of fire, the search and rescue people, the rescue people were right there, and they were having to so one house was completely flooded, and they were getting people out of their house in the boats to get them out of their house. Oh my, you guys, it's so terrible. We were so lucky. But anyway, so we get home and our power is flickering off. Our internet's going in and out. So I just knew like there was no way. I wasn't going to try to cook anything. I wasn't going to try to film anything. I wasn't going to do anything because I just had no idea what it was going to be like for the day. So anyway, that's where we're at. So we're at home. I sent that picture over to the executive assistant to our superintendent. I texted it to her and she said, yeah, I was just over there. And she said that they were going to send out a message telling people that they could either work at the other building or work remote today, because they needed to assess the situation because it was going under the building, but they didn't know like what was going on with it. So we're closed until 9:30. I'm working from home obviously, but they're closed until 9:30. Then they're going to look at it to see if they're going to open up the building. So I'm sure it's not raining right now. We're supposed to not get any rain today. And my husband, he's out working, and he said that our creek is down quite a bit, and I read it's down like 5 feet, but it was record highs all over the place because we live right on the river and the creek. So it is so crazy, you guys. Oh, I forgot to tell you though, right, like within 30 minutes of me getting home from Walmart, they closed Walmart because it was too dangerous to have people try to go in and out because it got even worse. So anyway, that's where we're at. So today's video, I'm gonna do, obviously it's gonna be more of a chatty or what I eat in a day. I'm gonna do a little bit of meal prep during lunchtime. So I will show you guys the meal prep that I'm gonna do. I just won't have a lot of time to really show you a lot of detail. So I will just link the recipes of whatever I make today. So yes, a little chattier what I eat in a day. Probably tomorrow will be just a regular what I eat in a day. I'll do 2 separate videos. Wednesday, we have a birthday celebration in my team, plus our new hire orientation, so I won't film it all on Wednesday. And then we'll just see what the rest of the week brings. It's supposed to, like I said, it's supposed to start raining again tomorrow and rain the rest of the week. So we'll see what happens. It's gonna be a little scary, but yeah, any videos I can find, I will post after this little clip. It's 11:30. I have not had a break yet today, and I am feeling really hungry, but I don't want to mess up my lunch. So I think I'm going to go ahead and make myself a protein smoothie, and I'm going to try a different flavor combination. I saw something like this on TikTok, so we're going to see how it tastes. I'm going to make a creamsicle protein smoothie, so I'm going to use this Premier Protein and vanilla, and then I have the orange Sunkissed. So we're just going to combine these with a little bit of ice to make it more smoothie-like, and we'll just see how this tastes. Let's give this a try. The vanilla Premier Protein are not my favorite. I prefer like the Fairlife vanilla. I really like those ones. But you know, it's vanilla. So let's see. The Fairlife vanilla is, the Premier Protein vanilla is not my favorite. It tastes kind of proteiny. And I almost think I wish I would have put one more of the orange. I don't think I had another Sunkissed one, but I have a Skittles one, and I may stir that in there because it's not quite orange creamsicle-y enough. I think I need 2 of those. I think I'm going to go add in another one, and I think then it'll be perfect. But I think part of the problem is, again, the vanilla Premier Protein and this type of thing where it's really featured. I think in coffee it's okay because the coffee kind of takes over that flavor. But since this is kind of the star of the show with a little bit of the orange, the Premier Protein taste kind of comes out. But I think the flavor combination is good. I think if you use your favorite vanilla protein shake and then one of those orange water enhancers, I think it's the perfect creamsicle. So this will hold me over till lunchtime. Yep, it tastes good though. I think the concept is great. It's just the ingredients is what needs to be changed. Okay, ended up working through part of my lunch, but I don't have time to cut short my lunch. So I am going to throw together 2 different kind of preps this week. I may still make some chicken burgers today. I may do that after I get done working, or if I get another break, I may just throw together some chicken burgers that I want to have later in the week. but I may prep those tomorrow instead. But the first prep I'm going to do is like a pepper steak in the crock pot. I don't have time to show you the sauce. I'm going to make the sauce exactly like the recipe, which I will link the recipe down below. I'm going to use, except for, here's my couple of substitutions. I'm going to use liquid aminos instead of the soy sauce. And it called for honey. I don't have any honey. So I'm just going to use sugar-free maple syrup. Actually, you know what? No, scratch that. I'm going to use the brown sugar swerve. So like the sugar-free brown sugar. I'm going to use that because I think that the honey is probably supposed to kind of cut the acidity kind of the soy sauce, amino acids, and the beef broth, you know, because it's kind of salty. So I think it's supposed to be kind of like a sweet and salty type thing. So I'm going to use brown sugar instead of the honey. But other than that, I'm going to do everything else the same in that recipe. So I'm just going to get my peppers cut up and get the steak thrown into the crock pot, add in that sauce, and then that will be one of my meals this week. I'll probably have that for dinner tonight, and then I'll have available for lunch. And then I have a pound of 93% lean, 90% lean. I think I ordered 93, but it gave me 90. That's okay. 93% lean ground beef, and I'm going to turn that into taco meat because today for lunch I'm going to do like a taco bowl. So I'm going to go ahead and throw that in and cook that up, and then I have that for lunch or dinner this week. And the only other thing on my meal was like some Caesar chicken burgers, and those sounded really good. I was going to make wraps out of them. So like I said, if I don't make those today, I'll make them in tomorrow's video, and then that way I can have those for later in the week. I actually may just do that. That way they're nice and fresh, because if I make them Tuesday, I can have them Tuesday night for dinner, have them maybe Wednesday night for dinner, and then that way it feeds me for a couple days and they're still kind of fresh. So I think that's what I'm going to do, but let me go ahead and put the rest of this stuff together. Alrighty, so I have my steak in there, and I have a red, yellow, and orange bell pepper, and then the sauce. I'm going to go ahead and put this on high and cook it for the next 4 hours. Alrighty, taco meat is done for the week. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw a bowl together. So I have my taco meat, I have some guacamole, cottage cheese, some salsa, or pico de gallo, some cheese, and then I have my Quest chips that I'll use to kind of dip everything. Here is my finished bowl. So I have half a cup of cottage cheese. I have 4 ounces of the 9% lean ground beef, a cup, guacamole cup, and then I have my Quest chips. These are the Quest chips that I am using today. And this is my yummy high protein lunch. I am going to have a protein bar. This is a little bit higher carbs than I normally would have for a snack. It has 20. But I do like to keep my snacks around 15, but I have 2 of these. I may have 3 of them. I may have 2 more of these besides this one that I need to eat up, and I really like the Bear Bell one. So it's 200 calories and 200, yes, 20 grams of protein. So the protein calorie ratio is exactly what I like to see, and my calories are kind of low today, so not a big deal. But anyway, so we're gonna have this for a snack. I realized when I was editing this morning that I lost my clip from dinner. I know I took it, but I don't know what happened to it. Maybe it wasn't recording. So this is what the pepper and steak crock pot ended up looking like. On the bottom here is some of the cauliflower stir fry from Costco. So it has cauliflower rice, some veggies, and I think there's like a little bit of sauce. So that is what my dinner looked like. And the next slide here, I'll show you all my stats for the day, and then I'll come on and close the video. Alrighty guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close out this video. Dinner was fantastic. That'll make great leftovers for lunch tomorrow. I know my calories were kind of low, but honestly, I am totally satisfied. Like there's no way I could eat anything more tonight. It is 7 o'clock and I ate dinner about 5:30, about 5:45. I am not even a little bit hungry. So I know I definitely won't want anything else. And I feel like you should really listen to your body when it comes to how much you eat. I mean, I think that if somebody was restricting themselves to try to stay under a certain amount of calories, that's a little bit different. But you saw that I had a really good filling lunch. I had a snack. I had actually 2 snacks if you count my protein shake and my protein bar. I had a really good filling dinner. I could not ask for anything more. So that is going to be my day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, guys.